Hello, and we are live with our gambling picks. This is the Scoreboard X podcast. You're with Matt and the Rook, and we are going through our Sunday Funday gambling picks. So, welcome to the show, and thank you for joining us. Here's the intro.
Listening to this Belly Up Sports Podcast Network product. Some said we go belly up, so we made it our name, and we're still here.
All right, welcome back. This is the Sunday Funday Week 3 gambling picks. Going to be a quick one. I don't have much time. I'm home alone. Wife is away. I have both kids right now.
Kevin!
Yeah, home alone. This is exactly what she'd probably say right now. Rook! No. So real quick, we have TJ's picks. I do have two things I want to talk about first before we go into the picks. Is to help out your gambling. I have this against the spread for the NFL so far. I got to take away this banner real quick. This is from ESPN. So away teams against the spread are 14 and 17, so they're 45%. Home teams are 17, 14 and 1, 54%. Favorites are 13 and 17. So if we've been betting favorites, it's not been panning out for us. And this is definitely true because I think Matt had picked a couple favorites last week and he went 1-4. So terrible. The underdogs are actually 17, 13 and 1 against the spread at 56%. What's the matter? All right, you're okay. Sorry, my oldest just started talking to me. Then away favorites are 5 and 8. So if you're away on the road and you're a favorite, you're most likely losing. Away underdogs at 9 and 8 right now. So underdogs on the road are pretty good. Home favorites, not that great, but the highest percentage here, home underdogs. So far that's been it. Also, another trend that I've seen from this, what did I get? I got rid of this now. If there's an under of 45, of over-unders at 45, 70, I think it's 76% of the time they're going under.
Wow.
So that's the trend for the first 2 weeks of NFL season. I don't know if that'll continue, but if you're looking to bet unders, you're looking for over-under bets. Right now, it looks like your best bet, if it's under 45, your best bet is bet the under because 76% is pretty good odds to hit the under. So with that being said, those are some of the trends that are going off the first 2 weeks. We'll see how that continues going forward in the future. But I kind of followed it, but not really. So we're going to go with TJ's picks first. And I think we're all on this one. He went KC minus 5.5. They're against the Colts on the road. But road favorites are not. I'm not saying they're losing, but against the spread. I think this is like a lock of the week, though. The Colts have been pretty bad. They lost to the Jags like 21-0, whatever it was. They tied their first game against the Texans, so Colts are not doing too hot. So I like this pick. Atlanta +1 is the one I like as well. I'm on Atlanta +1. I think you're on Atlanta +1 too.
No, I don't have Atlanta this week.
Oh, you don't? Okay. But you did like it, though. I think you were on another one. If you had more picks, you'd probably pick it, right?
Yeah, I think I have them in my pick 7 that I do. But
okay,
I desperately need wins. So that one for me was too close.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, on the road. But what is it? What do the trends say? Let's pull up again. Road away underdogs at 9 and 8. So I mean, that's close though. It's not really that much of a. That's not that big of a trend, but all right. San Francisco, TJ's going. San Francisco -1.5. They're on the road as well, I think, right?
Let me double check. Yes.
Oh, also just a quick thing about the Falcons. The Falcons played in LA last week, so I'm assuming they stayed out there all week long. So you don't have to worry about any jet lag. You know, sometimes people like betting against East Coast teams. They go out to the West because the 3-hour difference. But I think they stayed out there. And the Falcons played really well against the Rams. They almost came back and won that game. And you said, what'd you say? They were on the road, right? San Fran?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, they're against the Broncos on the road. Oh, they're a Sunday night game. Buffalo's -4.5. That's TJ's pick. I know you're on that one as well.
Yeah.
Second. You want to get on the show? Say hi.
Hi.
This is the dads of podcasting, right? Then we have Tennessee +1.5. No, you're on Buffalo as well. You guys have been riding Buffalo the last 2 weeks, even with the large spreads, and they've obviously been panning out. So I see you guys are just going to ride that along the whole way. TJ's picks: Kansas City -5.5, Atlanta +1, San Francisco -1.5, Buffalo -4.5 on the road, and Tennessee +1.5 at home. They're going against the Raiders. The Raiders. I actually like the Raiders in that game. I almost picked the Raiders, but I did not pick the Raiders. I didn't go with them. But I've got to also put up the leaderboard below. We didn't talk about last week real quick. No, we're trying to do this real quick because I got to get going. But Matt, 1-4. What do you have to say for yourself?
That I guess those statistics shown that you showed earlier are true, because there were teams I picked last week that I honestly felt really good about my picks. I thought they were all solid picks. I expected to go at least 4-1, not the reverse of 1-4. So I have some ground to make up.
Yeah, I had a chance at 4-1, and then both my team shit the bed in the second half. So it's tough. But what I think no, don't touch that. One of the ones that I saw was the Bengals game. You bet the Bengals again last week, 2 weeks in a row. They were favored by a touchdown, and you're not sticking with them. You're not sticking with them with this week, right? I mean, you did stick with them last week, but this week you're not sticking with them.
No, they need to prove that explosive offense that they were last year wasn't a fluke, and until they have to prove themselves for at least covering the spread before I touch them again.
Yeah, the offensive line is terrible. I think they said Joe Burrow's. I think he's projected to get sacked 100 times this year.
Oof.
And they invested $70 million into that offensive line. I think they drafted an offensive lineman, and they're just still terrible. So we'll go into your picks here, Matt. So what do we got? Pick number 1 here. I think we're all on this one. So you could explain it. I think we're all.
Yeah, I mean, the Colts played absolutely terrible last week. Let me just pull up real quick. I just want to pull up the matchup so I could make sure I'm talking about the right teams. But I mean, the Colts looked absolutely terrible last week, and
they were against the Jags. Week before they were against the Texans. They tied the Texans. Shut out by the Jags.
A tie and a shutout against probably one of the best quarterbacks in the league right now. Even without Hill, he'll find Juju. He'll find Kelsey. So I'm not worried about
Hardman.
Them covering.
All right, so your pick number 2 is Baltimore. You're going with Baltimore again, despite them letting you down last week against Miami. -2.5 Baltimore, and they're on the road in Foxborough. So you got a lot of confidence in this, despite the trends of the first 2 weeks saying away favorites are 5 and 8. What do you got?
Lamar's my fantasy quarterback, and I feel like they have to bounce back. That left a bad taste in everybody's mouth, and I definitely feel that they're going to bounce back. And Lamar's done it before in back-to-back weeks. Tua, not so much. So, that's why I was thinking that it was a fluke, but, Mac Jones really isn't the problem. Good.
Right? The offense wasn't the problem. It was the defense.
Yeah.
Miami.
Exactly. So, and I feel like Mac Jones isn't that good, so I don't feel like the Patriots offense would be as explosive as Miami was last week. So, I'm gonna go with Lamar and the Ravens.
All right. And then your third pick, Detroit +6.
Detroit looked great last week. Goff has a lot of nice weapons to go from, and if they're getting points. And the Lions are playing the Vikings. Kirk Cousins is absolute trash.
On the road.
But Kirk Cousins is garbage. He has one of the best wide receivers in football in Justin Jefferson. And how good are you as a wide receiver if your quarterback can throw a pass to you? So
it's true. And here's the thing with the Kirk Cousins. when he's not in prime time and he's not on the road, he's actually pretty good. I don't know what the numbers are, but he's actually better on at home.
So he doesn't have it for the big stage, but you know what though? Even if the Vikings win, as long as it's not by 6.
Oh yeah, I know. I get that. Obviously, I know that.
Yeah, duh, so.
Yeah, all right. Pick number 4, San Francisco, -1.5.
Garoppolo, not only is he a stud, but
Sunday
I
night.
think he's the better quarterback for that team. You have Kittle coming back. That's a Super Bowl team. So, I mean,
wow.
I see them flat out winning. So that's why.
Bold prediction. Super Bowl team with Jimmy G and George Kittle.
Hey. Debo? Some Debo? Come on.
That's true. And they have Debo as well. You have they're at NBC 8:20 tonight, Sunday night. How's Jimmy? I'm gonna look up how Jimmy G is in prime time. You should look it up right now while we're going through these picks. All right. And your 5th and final pick, which we spoke about before, was Buffalo -4.5. We have a guest again. Sienna, who thinks going to win, Buffalo or the Dolphins? Dolphins. Oh, heard it right from here. The source. Dolphins.
May have to change that pick now.
Zombies now. There's no zombies.
Like the future picks that we did for MVP, Super Bowl matchups, and Super Bowl winners, I'm all in on Buffalo. They've been blowing out the competition, and kind of like what I was saying earlier.
I picked the wrong one up. Never mind.
No, that's all right. Kind of like what I was saying earlier with Tua. If Tua is able to compete with Josh Allen, then Tua is the real deal. But I think Josh Allen's just on another planet right now. Gabriel Davis, Stephon Diggs. It's just too much, I feel like, for teams to handle. And their defense is really good too. So
you got hurt? Yeah. All right. I did a flip and she got hurt. All right. Well, here are my picks. Sienna, you want to go with my picks? What do you want to say? You want to say Kansas City? You say Kansas City? All right. You're getting shy. All right. Kansas City -5.5. I think we already said what we were doing there. I'm actually getting you guys. I'm Miami +4.5. They're home. They're getting points. They have explosive offense. And here's the kicker. I don't know if you guys know about this. They have 5 defensive guys out for Buffalo today. So I'm going Miami. They may not win the game, but I think it comes down to a field goal. And this over is 53.5. I could see both teams scoring like 30 points easily. So I would go over 53.5 with Miami Buffalo as well.
Interesting.
And then this is we're wearing our Jags hat today because what are these? This is Jags Sunday, right? And the Giants play on Monday or they're on bye. It's a Jags Sunday. Or on a Thursday night. Why don't you go down for a second? No, that's why I bought it over. I'm doing this from the bar. Here, you can have it. Go sit down on the couch. All right. This is great radio today. And I'm going Houston +3 on the road, getting points. Away road dogs. What do we this season for away? Where's it coming up? Not coming up. Did I lose? I lost service.
I still hear you. It crackled up a little bit. Oh, there we go.
All right, so away underdogs at 9-8. So I'm going Houston. I've actually bet Houston both times the first 2 weeks, and they both covered the spread both times. So okay. I'm with you guys. Atlanta +1 on the road. They stayed out west, most likely. I believe they did. I don't know if that's true, but I believe they did. It makes sense from LA to Seattle. Yeah. LA to Seattle, they probably just stayed out west. So I'm going with the Falcons. And she's back again. You want those?
Ooh.
There you go. Yeah.
I like that pick.
And Washington +6.5. They're getting a lot of points. Eagles, I know Eagles are kind of hot. People like the Eagles take to win the East. But as the trend showed in the first 2 weeks, home underdogs are 8-5. So I'm going with the home underdog here, Washington +6.5. I know last week they dominated the Vikings, but I just don't think they're going to have the same performance. So those are my picks so far. This one's correct. So there it is. Kansas.
There you go.
City -5.5. Miami +4.5. Houston +3. Atlanta +1. And Washington +6.5. So I'm going with 3. I'm going with 4 underdogs. It's kind of like I don't really love that, but I don't know. I just feel like if I end up 1-4 this week, that'd be fine. I'll deal with it.
I would be happy because that means that I could
take
possibly make a push and get out of the basement of 3-7.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Well, that's it for the show. You want to come back up? You gonna say hi? You gonna say goodbye to everybody?
Oh yeah, she's got to say bye. She's got to sign
All
off.
right. Who do you want to win, the Jags or the Chargers? Justin Herbert may not play today.
I know.
And they're
I
actually
saw
going to use they're going to use a high infrared to do the injection because they don't want him to get stabbed like Tyrod Taylor.
Good.
Don't do that with your lips. Yeah. All right, say. What do you say? What? Why are you doing that? Say goodbye, everybody. Say happy Sunday, Funday.
Happy Sunday, Funday.
Why aren't you saying it? All right.
You got to say it, CM. You got to sign us off.
Yeah, sign us
Sunday,
off.
Funday.
Say have a Sunday, Funday. You're getting shy. All right, well, that's it for the show. A quick picks show, 15, 16 minutes, whatever it may be. And we'll try to do a replay in a little bit on our YouTube channel. So check it out. Also, if Justin Herbert doesn't go and the line, I think right now the Jags are plus 3.5. Take the Jags plus 3.5. I think they play well on the road and they'll cover. That's just a bonus. Oh, also, wait, another one before we leave off. I know you have to say something, but Seattle 19-8 in the last 27 games on the under. And I think today they're under let me look it up. I just had it. I think they might be below that 45 where it's been hitting.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, 43.5 again. So I would go under on that game.
Interesting.
Any last tidbits for gambling today?
Don't bet over your head.
Don't bet over your head.
That's the best. At 3-7, that's the only advice I could give is don't bet over your head.
After I give all the if I just gave a bunch of, I gave like my 5 picks plus like 3 or 4 others, so 9 picks today. Just don't bet all of them, but pick the ones you like and go with it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Matt, great time talking to you again.
Yes, you too.
We'll be back next Sunday, same time. Well, not same time. We'll be 10:30, 11, and we'll do a replay of this in about 30 minutes. So
yes.
peace.
Awesome. Peace.
Don't hit me.